Yoga for First Responders, or YFFR, is a nonprofit organization founded and directed by Olivia Mead. And the YFFR protocol or training program, which is taught to first responders, police, fire, and dispatch, uses yoga practices of breath work and movement or poses as a means of helping first responders process the emotional, physical, psychological stressors that they encounter in their jobs every day, and to hopefully also strengthen them in their jobs. Yoga deals with the mind-body connection, and this program also incorporates those things in order to deal with the whole body. And a lot of the physical training that firefighters do deals with strength, and with yoga we can also deal with breath work and stability by getting into some of the deeper muscles. So it takes the whole body into account and the mind, and we use specific techniques to also bring the body back to homeostasis after high intensity events. Olivia Mead was working with veterans that had PTSD and realized that a lot of the things she was doing with them could translate to first responders as well, as they are in situations that are also high stress. There's a high rate of PTSD, depression, addiction, and sleep deprivation. So she was seeing some similarities between the populations and thought that this would be a benefit to first responders as well. Susan started the class with breath work, breathing techniques that we use to calm the nervous system, and particularly for firefighters, they're useful for learning how to conserve air when they're using their air tanks. Then we move into the physical movements or poses, which again get into strengthening and mobility in order to help with the physical demands of the job. After that, we incorporate breath work into those poses as well, again trying to draw in the mind with the body and kind of keeping track of where you're moving and how you're moving. The last part of the class is called a neurological reset. So after the movement and the poses, we take time to bring the central nervous system back down through breath, slowing the breath, bringing it back down to its normal rate, and also just by lying still. And this is extremely important for first responders, particularly when they're transitioning from maybe work to home, to be able to come back down to a steady state, and also just between calls if they need to bring themselves back down. So we also include what are called cognitive declarations or affirmations, and those are short phrases such as I am strong, I can adapt, I am stable, and again that brings the mind-body connection in and helps with mental resiliency in situations that could be highly stressful. You're again connecting so that you can maintain your focus. The YFFR training goes over the course of 6 days, and you do not have to be a yoga teacher. A lot of the participants are first responders themselves, or they support first responders in some way. So the training is really a combination of people and a combination of topics. We learn a lot about the physical aspects of the job of a first responder and the trauma that can be kind of brought in through continuous work in these fields. So it is a trauma-informed and culturally sensitive training. So it's really looking at the first responder population and their needs and how they can grow stronger through this practice, but also learn how to bring themselves back to a state of calmness so that they can function optimally for themselves, their family, and otherwise. So it's a wonderful training of physical activity as well as book time. So it's you're not sitting all day, but it's a lot of fun to be able to practice with people who really want to help this population. Susan and I completed our trainings last year with YFFR, and we are just very excited to get this out to the Madison and surrounding areas as another skill set and tool that can be provided to first responders in order to keep them healthy. Dispatchers have also been called the first responders, and they also can experience a great deal of secondary trauma by hearing what's happening out there. So they, with respect to dispatch, there is a chair yoga component to YFFR, and chair yoga is very popular now, and it is particularly helpful for dispatch to be able to tap into some of the same things, the breathing and the movement. The movements are done chair-based, but when they have time for breaks, these are things that they can just implement during their shifts. So it's a really neat aspect of the program as well. You are going to learn a lot, and you are going to leave just completely jacked to help this population. It is so exciting to see what you can do to really transform these first responders' day-to-day life, not just at a fire station or a police department, but in their homes, because people are reporting that they sleep better, that they are more focused. And I think that those stories, those testimonials, you will learn that what you're doing is really actually making an impact and giving our first responders a better sense of well-being and health.